Tough times for the New York Rangers. They lost their fifth consecutive game on Black Friday, falling 3-1 to the Philadelphia Flyers. And the Rangers are looking to bounce back after five consecutive losses. I'm going to talk about the Rangers. I'm going to do it with the great host for SportsGrid. She's the host of NHL Today with Kasey Hudson, the one and only Kasey Hudson. Kasey, how you doing?
What's going on, Dex? I'm doing good.
Yep.
For the part, we got the holidays now in full reign, and hopefully some more uplifting hockey will be coming in while the holiday starts rolling in. We'll see.
Well, I'm glad you're doing good. The Rangers could be doing better as they have lost five in a row. As I mentioned, I see you already in the holiday spirit with the holiday red on. But when we look at this Rangers loss on Black Friday, 3-1 to the Philadelphia Flyers, we saw a lot of struggles with the Rangers in creating offense. So what stood out to you about their performance on Black Friday, and what adjustments do you think they need to make in order to get back on track?
I don't want to do the basic hockey talk, but one of the biggest things that I saw today was them losing puck battles. I mean, you saw Flyers players that were jumping on the puck much faster than Rangers players were. Not to mention is that they were capitalizing on loose pucks, them being the Flyers. So there's just a few moments in the Rangers game where it just looks like the game completely slows down, and not in a way where they're forcing their opponent to play their game. It's just they lack speed, and they lack speed management. And today you're going against a Flyers team that relies on the rush. And that's exactly what they used to their advantage. They created rush opportunities. They jumped on loose pucks, and they won a lot of puck battles versus the Rangers today, which just made them look like they were kind of lost in translation on the ice.
Yep. So you saw that going on today. But I think one of the things you've seen during this five-game skid, Kasey, is the Rangers' power play. It was a once vaunted power play, but it's gone away. Power play has not been working for them. What's been going on with them on special teams, and how do they get that back on track?
I will point out, as of late, one of the key things in my mind, regardless of all the rumors and drama going on, is Kreider is an executor on special teams. I mean, the amount of shorthanded goals he already has this season and his ability to pick up those power play goals, he is a contributor, regardless of the noise kind of going on off the ice. But outside of that, also, like, a lot of transitions are just getting broken down by the Rangers. Like, their opponents are keying in on their transitions, taking away their scoring chances and opportunity. And part of it could be the fact that they haven't found what works again on their power play. Like, they're changing up the units a lot. Right now, Lafreniere is on that top unit while Kreider is out. But still, there's just no synergy, and their chemistry is just kind of lacking in a number of ways. And they're just really slow on a lot of triggers when it comes to executing on the power play. And you're going against teams that can manage faster play, and the Rangers just aren't there with their pace. So that's probably one of the top things I can say. But some of the opportunities are there, and Kreider being out of the lineup does hurt.
You talked about the noise around the team, right? And a lot of that noise has been Chris Kreider. I've heard his name on the trade block, rumors around him. Also, the captain, Jacob Trouba, his name also being involved in trade rumors. And I think when you take all of that, Kasey, and you look at this Rangers team and where they are now over 20 games, a quarter way through the season, is this a team that should look to be buyers, or should they be looking to sell when it comes to the trade deadline? Because, this is the time where teams are really evaluating who and what they are. So where do you think the Rangers are, and what should they be thinking about in terms of either trying to acquire players and go for it or selling?
Well, you got to lean towards the acquire and go for it, right? Because one of the themes surrounding this season was the fact that it's kind of do or die for this Rangers team, especially with the lock-in that they want to produce for Shesterkin, to credit his tremendous play over the years, especially this season still. So it is do or die time, which means you've got to get players in here that are going to help take this team over the hump. Now, the other problem is that you don't know where the chemistry lies. Anyone who's asked me about the Rangers these last couple of weeks, I should say, my biggest response is, what's their identity? What's their chemistry? I'm just not really seeing it. And then on top of that, they're not one of the fastest teams out there, and the game has sped up a lot. So you're seeing your younger players really take the helm here to help this team out where they can, like Cooley and Heedle's been injured, but also, I mean, Berard coming into the mix-up, he's been tremendous so far through 3 games, and his numbers look great. Their development has to get stronger with their younger guys, so it's important to have certain veteran presence on the ice, but I think that they need more speed. I think that they need to have players that can help bring this game up to a faster pace and execute. And the biggest thing is going to be chemistry. So when it comes to the chopping block of Trouba and Kreider, you're talking about also opening up a large amount of cap space. And yes, the cap is about to increase, but regardless, you got to stick in the management space and structure of where you are now. Some of that cap space is going to alleviate fulfilling the contract requests of Igor Shesterkin, but also it's going to bring in players that can help out. They have to find out what their identity of their top six is going to be. In the beginning of this season, I talked with you. One of the things I credited them when they were on their 12-6-1 run was the fact that their two-way game was so strong, and that has just completely crumbled. You're seeing teams capitalize off of mistakes in their own offensive zone and take it from zone to zone and score on a team that just takes forever to get going sometimes. So I think that it's do or die. I think they have to get pieces at the trade deadline, and I think moving on from Trouba has been a conversation for a minute now, which is heavy-hearted for, your captain. And then when it comes to Kreider, about 3 seasons left with this team, but still, it's got to get faster. It's got to get a little bit younger, and development on younger teams has to really come alive here, or else this team is not looking at a now situation. They're looking at a future situation.
Yeah, and that would change things definitely for the Blue Shirts. I think the last thing for me here, Case, when you look at this 5-game skid that they're on right now, and you look at some of the issues, right? Is it more structural in what you're seeing with them? Is it a case of just they've gone through a little bit of a bad patch, they've had some bad luck? Or what is it with this team that you're really seeing going on during this 5-game skid?
The biggest thing for me, the overhead of this, is the buy-in doesn't feel like it's there. And I think that ties into me talking about chemistry. I think that ties into me talking about the identity. Like, Rempe getting called up the other day and playing in that game, that didn't make sense to me. I've already talked about the fact that Rempe can't be the entertainment mark of this team anymore. He needs to properly have time to develop. Outside of that, I look at where you see the buy-in come in for teams, and you usually see that with players that are willing to put their body on the line. You see that with the way the communication is taking place on the ice. This team is one of the last teams in the league when it comes to blocking shots, and that's a huge factor to help out your goalie that you're about to, alleviate a little bit and pay for his time and his effort between the pipes so consistently. So in a number of ways, the turnovers on the puck, the non-block shots, the buy-in just doesn't feel like it's there. And sometimes you see these players and the line change up and you just don't see where the chemistry is coming in. So I think that that's probably one of the largest factors here that I'm starting to notice, and that you just see such defeat in a lot of these guys, and it sucks. I mean, suiting up every day, trying to put your best foot forward, having some of the opportunities there, and then being on a skid such as this, like the mental aspect of hockey is so huge, and it just seems like there's such a delay there, but the buy-in overall just doesn't feel like it's in the New York Rangers locker room at the moment.
And that's always a problem when you don't buy in with any team. Things can really go south. The Rangers will try to stop this skid, which now is at 5 games after they fell to the Flyers on Black Friday, 3-1. That is Kasey Hudson. Check her out on SportsGrid, the host of NHL Today, every Friday at 2 p.m. Does a great job with that. Case, always a pleasure talking hockey with you, talking Rangers with you. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend.
Thank you so much. Get your tree up, Dexter.
Yeah, you've given me a lot of crap for not having my tree up. I got to get that tree up early because you're in the holiday mood. I got to catch up. I'm just trying to catch up.
Please.
All right. Thanks, Case.